Hello, beautiful Filipinas. Welcome to part 17 of 100 skills that if you learn them, if you practice them, will help you lift your life and co-create a more beautiful world. So 62, responsibility. Response means that something happens in your life and you respond. A fire starts in the barangay and you put water on your house and then go and help the barangay put out the fire. You notice that the gas is getting low in your motorcycle, so you stop at the gas station and fill it up rather than run out of gas. Your child gets sick, so you go to the hospital. The vegetable starts to wilt, so you put water on and fertilizer, right? Responsibility, meaning you respond and you grow your ability to respond. For example, the more money you save up, the more you can respond to problems and challenges. The more you build your muscles and your health, right? You go to the gym, if you practice weights, the more you build your muscles, the more strength you have to respond. So responsibility is continuously developing your strength to respond to many situations that may come up. Now, your first responsibility, your first focus is on yourself. Can you keep your body alive? Can you keep your body healthy? Can you keep your brain alive? Can you keep your mind healthy? Can you keep your heart alive? Can you keep your heart healthy? You want to respond to improve your heart, your mind, your body now and in the future. Now, as you succeed, as you learn how to take care of yourself, right? It's not a good idea to try and go rescue other people. You don't have any money, you don't have a job, but you're going to go give some money to somebody else. You don't have any food, you're not healthy, but you're going to give food to somebody else. Your first responsibility is to learn to take care of yourself, to grow yourself. But once you succeed, as you succeed, you then can start taking responsibility for your children, for your family. You can start responding to a larger circle. You can help the neighbors. You can help the barangay. And as your power, as your ability to respond, that is what power is. Power is the ability to respond, right? So as your ability to respond grows and your success at response grows, you can increase your influence in larger and larger circles so that eventually you are responding to things in the world. When you hear, there's a lot of trees being cut down. When you hear there's a rise in temperature, well, you can plant some trees and make the world a better place. Right? When you hear about domestic violence and problems with malnutrition, you can give some multivitamins to a pregnant woman in your barangay who may not have the money to buy multivitamins to keep her and her children healthy, right? You take care of yourself and your family first, and you can start giving out to help make the country, the world, the family a better place. And so this is always happening. It's a lifetime skill. Build your power to respond every day and make a difference in your own life and slowly a bigger difference in other people. And if you'd like to share a story of how you responded to something successfully in the comments, I'd love to hear it. The second skill, 63, is leadership through successful example. So this is a paradigm, right? When we start out as life as 2-year-old, 3-year-old, we don't feel like leaders. We feel helpless. We're children. We're confused, right? But if we want to keep growing, if we want to keep succeeding, eventually other people will look up to us. That is someone who has succeeded at their business. That is someone who has succeeded at their marriage. That is someone who is succeeding in their health. I want to be like them. We always copy people we admire. And so as your success grows, more people will look to you to learn from you. And leadership through successful example is just this. Now, this is also, a little bit of alchemy around a certain kind of love. Sometimes we don't care enough about ourselves to change. I could stop smoking, but I know it's not good for my health, but I really don't care. I just don't care about myself that much. I could stop drinking, but I really don't care that much about my life to make these big changes. Now, sometimes when you have children or when you have a husband or a wife, you care about them more than you care about yourself. And so you say, I would really happily just gamble away the money, go drinking and smoke. But my child is watching me, and I don't care about my own life, but I care about my child. And so I'm not going to do that. And so this is leadership through successful example. So one part of that is to find something in your life, your church, your barangay, a respected figure, a role model. You say, I want to make that person proud. I want to do it for them. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to do exercise. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to do my studies. I'm going to pass my subjects because I want my parents to be proud of me. I want this figure to be proud of me. Right? So we can love something outside of ourselves and then say, you know what? I'm going to be a better person out of respect for them. Right? Out of respect, I want this person to be proud of me. And if you want to use me in that way and write to me and tell me what you're doing in a leadership role so that I can celebrate your success and be proud of you, I would love to do it. So we can do it for another, for a group, for others. Or we can do it for ourselves, and we can challenge ourselves to say, what would a really great leader do here? What would Gandhi do? What would Jesus do? What would Buddha do? What would Manny Pacquiao do? What would someone I respect, what would they do here? And I'm going to do that. I'm going to challenge myself to be an example that I would be proud of, right? So, leadership through successful example. You think about what a great leader would do, and you take steps to be a better, a bigger leader in your life, either for yourself or out of respect for another. Skill 64, learning to see and pick people. Now, this is a really important skill because it first of all, right, if we divide the world into victim and architect. Now, a victim is a mindset, it is a state, it is an experience when we do not know anything. We are helpless. we feel out of control and something happens to us and we feel a victim, right? Somebody comes and rapes us and we say, I couldn't stop it. I didn't know, right? Right? Or somebody steals from us, or somebody, lies to us, and we feel like a victim, right? Because we did not see it coming. We did not see it coming. We didn't have a plan. We didn't know. And we all start off as children, as victims. Every child is a victim. They don't know. But by the time we're 12, 13, 14 years old, we have a decision to make. Do we want to stay ignorant? Do we want to stay a victim? Do we want to just wait around for something to happen? Because we can remain a child our whole life. Or do we want to become an architect? Do we want to become an author that writes our life? Right? Do we want that instead? And if we want that instead, how do we do it? Right? How do we learn to take control, to take authority, to create the life that we want, so that we're not surprised all the time? Oh, I had no idea, right? If you don't go to school, if you don't study something, then you have no idea. So what authority, what authorship, what architecture is about is creating the knowledge so that you are not a victim. For example, if you pay attention to the people in your barangay, you'll say, this person is always lying. Now, if that's your job to understand that, this person is always lying. This person is always stealing. This person is always gossiping. Okay, so how do you respond to that? So you know that now. So if you tell the gossip person something about your life, and then you say, why did they tell? No, you're not a victim. You have to say, why did I tell them? They are a gossip. That's who they are. So why did I talk to them? Right? Well, I'm not a victim. If I don't want them to gossip, I just don't talk to them. And this person over here, why did I leave my money out? I know they steal things. So if I leave my money out, I'm not a victim, I'm a fool, right? Because that person is always stealing things. So to move from a victim to an authority, right, to someone who is responsible for their life, you have to see, and it's your job to learn, to keep learning, to learn about the people around you, to learn about your family. It's important to know. My husband, my boyfriend, my father is cruel when he's drunk. So if I don't want to be around cruelty, I have to pull back and take space while he's drinking. Or I have to say, Dad, you can't live in my house because you are cruel when you are drinking and you like to drink a lot. So, right, I'm not going to feel like a victim. I will take steps, right? And there are consequences to each step, but you have to learn to see the world as it is. This person is honest 75% of the time. So there's a 25% risk. Okay. Do you want to take that risk? Is that the best choice you can make? If it is the best choice you can make and you know that there's a 25% risk, you're not a victim, right? That's part of life, right? If you get in a boat and you know the boat isn't very safe, but it is the best boat that you can find, and you need to go somewhere, well, the boat may sink while you're in the boat. So you should have a plan. How am I going to swim to shore? Do I mind what I'm carrying being, lost in the water? So the movement from victimhood to authority is a movement of seeing the world as it is. Your job is to see the world as it is. Now, I want to dwell on this a little bit because most of the Filipinas that I meet, dating or otherwise in the Philippines, have children by men who hurt them and left them to raise the children on their own. In other words, a large number of Filipinas have sex with men who hurt them and then leave them. And there is no analysis that's going into that. Meaning, I don't hear these Filipinas say, and next time I'm going to look for a man like this and this and this. Right? It's a lot, well, it's just the way it is. But it's not just the way it is, meaning if you pay attention and you start dating someone and they start drinking, and you look at the effects of alcohol, you can say, well, the more I continue this relationship, the more they are going to keep drinking. And then you have a choice to stop seeing them. You can say, you know, I liked it when you weren't drinking. I understand that's your freedom, but I'm going to separate. Now, if the man gets violent, then you really need to separate. You say, oh, I see. Not only do you have a drinking problem, you have a violence problem. I totally 100% need to separate from you, right? And so it's not always easy and it's not always, clear to see, but it is important, right? It is important for you to understand it's your job to talk to 1,000 men and then pick the man that is going to take you closer to the world, to the life that you want to live. It's your job to interview 1,000 men and then find 5%, 50 of those men that you would consider. And some of them will not choose you, right? So you need 50 of those men and you have to think maybe, here's my top 20. I would be happy with any of these 20 men. It's the best choice I can make. And then some of them will reject you and you might try with one and it's not working out. But that's your job. It's not your job just to wait around to see what man is going to be pushy enough. The man that keeps nagging you, come on, come on, come on. And then you say, oh, okay. That's not the best man. You need to find who is the best man and pick the best man and then be good to that man so that he will pick you. You've got to learn to see people as they are, positive and negative, and then pick people who are good for you. So that's the 64th skill, and it's important to understand that this happens in a variety of different ways. No one is perfect, and so the best mathematician may be impatient. The most patient person may be a bit dumb. They're very, very patient, but they're a bit dumb. They're not very smart. They're very relaxed and patient, or maybe they're smart and patient, but they're lazy, right? No one is perfect, so you have to pick people that are appropriate for that situation. And finally, delegation to competent people, to people that are appropriate for that situation. So once you pick people, and say they are good for this and good for that, then you have to give them the chance to help you, right? You cannot do big projects and big goals alone. You've got to find someone who is good at cleaning to help you with your cleaning work. You have to find someone who's good at sales to help you expand your company and sell your product. You have to find someone who's a good driver, who's safe to bring your kids to school. You've got to find people, you've got to see them clearly, and then You've got to give some of your responsibility, some of your effort to them. And in this way, you can grow a company. You can grow a relationship. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.